Wait, did Offset just expose everything about Cardi B? Because what started as a quiet situation has suddenly exploded into one of the most shocking celebrity dramas of the year. Leaked clips, cryptic messages, and now rumors of a DNA test. That could change everything we thought we knew. Fans are confused. Social media is divided, and the internet is going absolutely wild. Some people are saying this is all just rumors. Others believe there's way more truth behind the scenes than Cardi B wants anyone to know. And now, Offset's alleged statements are adding fuel to a fire that's already out of control. But here's the craziest part. Even half of what's being said is true. This could completely destroy relationships, reputations, and everything Cardi B has built. So what really happened? What did Offset say? Okay, and why is everyone suddenly talking about a DNA test? Let's break it all down. The drama didn't just appear overnight. It built up slowly, piece by piece, until it reached a point where it was impossible to ignore. First, fans noticed something was off between Cardi B and Offset. Their interactions became less frequent, their posts less connected. And the usual public displays of affection started disappearing. Social media, as always, picked up on it immediately. People began speculating. Were they fighting again? Was this another temporary breakup? Or was something much deeper going on behind the scenes? Then came the first real spark. A series of cryptic posts started circulating online. Offset reportedly hinted at truth's coming. Out soon, while Cardi B posted messages that seemed defensive, almost like she was responding to something indirectly. Neither of them said anything clearly, but the tension was obvious. And that's when things took a serious turn. A leaked clip began spreading across platforms. In the clip, Offset allegedly talks about a situation involving trust, loyalty, and something that fans quickly interpreted as a possible paternity issue. The word DNA started trending almost immediately now. Here's where things get complicated. There is no official confirmation of any DNA test. No verified documents, no direct statements. But in the world of celebrity drama, that doesn't stop the internet from building its own narrative. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag #CARDIBXPOSED and hashtag OffsetSpeaks began trending. Fans split into two camps. One side defended Cardi B, saying this was just another attempt to drag her name through the mud. The other side believed Offset was finally revealing a hidden truth. And the speculation didn't stop there. People started connecting dots from past events. Old interviews, previous arguments, even lyrics from songs were being analyzed like clues in a mystery. Every small detail suddenly felt important. Meanwhile, Cardi B remained mostly silent, and that silence, it made everything louder. Because when a celebrity doesn't respond during a controversy, people assume one of two things. Either they're preparing a major response, or they're trying to avoid making things worse. But Offset didn't stay quiet. More clips, more hints, and more indirect comments continued to surface. None of them were clear enough to confirm anything, but they were strong enough to keep the conversation alive at this point. The story had gone beyond just a relationship. Issue 8 became a full-blown internet investigation. Fans, bloggers, and content creators started digging deeper. Every post, every comment, every appearance was analyzed. And the narrative kept growing bigger and bigger. Then came another twist. Rumors began linking a third person into the situation. Someone who, according to online speculation, might be connected to the alleged DNA issue. Again, no proof, no confirmation, but enough whispers to push the story even further. Now, the question wasn't just about Cardi B and Offset. It became, what is the truth behind all of this? And why hasn't anyone clearly denied it? As the days went on, the tension kept rising. The internet refused to move on. And with every passing hour, The pressure on both Cardi B and Offset increased because in today's world, silence doesn't end a story. It makes people write their own version of it. As the controversy continued to grow, the situation became less about facts and more about perception. Social media doesn't wait for confirmation. It reacts instantly, emotionally, often without context. And that's exactly what happened here. People began choosing sides. Some fans stood firmly with Cardi B. They argued that she has faced countless rumors throughout her career, and that this was just another wave of negativity designed to bring her down. They pointed out how often female celebrities are targeted with personal accusations, especially when they're successful and outspoken. Others, however, believe that there might be some truth hidden behind Offset's hints. They argued that his tone, his timing, and the way he addressed the situation felt different this time. Not like a typical argument, but something more serious. And then there were those who were simply watching the chaos unfold. Because, let's be honest, internet drama has become a form of entertainment. People follow these stories not just for information, but for the emotional roller coaster they provide. Meanwhile, content creators jumped in quickly. Videos analyzing the situation started appearing everywhere. Some claimed to have inside information. Others broke down every detail like a detective case. Thumbnails became more dramatic. Titles became more shocking. Cardi B exposed. Offset finally speaks. DNA test, shocker. Each video added more fuel to the fire. But here's where things get even more intense. The longer the situation continued without a clear statement, the more believable the rumors started to feel. Even people who initially dismissed the story began to question it, because repetition creates doubt. When you hear something once, it's easy to ignore. But when you see it everywhere, over and over again, it starts to feel real. And that's exactly what was happening. At the same time, Cardi B's online activity became a major focus. Every tweet, every comment, every like was analyzed. She posted something happy, people said she was pretending. If she stayed quiet, people said she was hiding. There was no winning. Offset, on the other hand, continued to add subtle hints. Not direct accusations, but enough to keep people talking. It was like he was feeding the story just enough to keep it alive without fully confirming anything. And that strategy worked, because now, the story wasn't just trending, it was dominating. Even people who didn't usually follow celebrity news started hearing about it. It crossed over into mainstream conversations, becoming one of those topics that everyone seemed to have an opinion on. But behind all the noise, one important question remained unanswered. What is actually true? Because at the end of the day, there's a big difference between speculation and reality. And in situations like this, that line often gets blurred. Some sources claim that legal steps might be involved. Others said that private discussions were happening behind the scenes. But again, nothing was officially confirmed, and that uncertainty kept the story alive because people hate not knowing the truth. They want answers. They want clarity. They want a clear ending. But instead, all they had were pieces of a puzzle that didn't fully fit together, and so the theories kept growing. Some believed this was all a misunderstanding blown out of proportion. Others believed it was a carefully controlled narrative designed to reveal something bigger later. And then there were those who thought this might be the beginning of a major fallout. Because if the rumors about a DNA test were ever confirmed, it wouldn't just be a personal issue, it would become a public scandal, one that could impact careers, relationships, and reputations on a massive scale. Now, as the situation continues to unfold, the biggest question isn't just what happened in the past, it's what happens next. Because controversies like this don't just disappear, they evolve. And right now, everything is at a critical point. Cardi B is at a stage in her career where every move matters. She's not just an artist anymore. She's a brand, a business, a global name. And situations like this can either damage that image or make it even stronger. Depending on how they're handled, silence can be powerful, but it can also be risky. If she chooses to stay quiet, the rumors may continue to grow. People may keep creating their own narratives, filling in the gaps with assumptions. But if she decides to speak out, that moment will be huge, because everyone is waiting for a statement, waiting for clarity, waiting for the truth. Offset, on the other hand, has already shifted the conversation. Whether intentionally or not, his actions have placed the spotlight directly on this situation. And now anything he says or does next will be watched even more closely. The dynamic between them is no longer just personal, it's public, and that changes everything. Because when a private issue becomes public, it's no longer controlled by the people involved. It becomes influenced by opinions, reactions, and media coverage, and that can make things unpredictable. At the same time, fans are starting to question something deeper. Why do these situations escalate so quickly? Why does the internet turn personal matters into global headlines within hours? The answer lies in how connected everything has become. One post can reach millions. One clip can go viral instantly. And once something is out there, it's almost impossible to take it back. That's the reality of modern fame. And Cardi B knows this better than anyone. She has built her career on being real, unfiltered, and outspoken. That authenticity is what made people love her. But in moments like this, it also puts her under intense scrutiny, because when you're known for being open, people expect answers. And when those answers don't come, they start looking for them. Elsewhere, meanwhile, the hashtag movement continues. #CARDIBX, POSED, hashtag offset drama, hashtag DNA test. These tags aren't just trends. They're part of a larger conversation that keeps evolving every day. And the longer it continues, the more impact it has. Not just on Cardi B and Offset, but on how celebrity culture works as a whole. Because this situation highlights something important. The difference between truth and narrative. What is actually happening behind the scenes may be completely different from what the internet believes. But perception often becomes reality in the public eye. And that's what makes this so powerful. Right now, you're in the middle of the story, not at the beginning, not at the end. And that means anything can happen next. A statement could drop tomorrow and change everything. Evidence could appear that confirms or denies the rumors, or the story could slowly fade, leaving questions unanswered. But one thing is certain, this situation has already left a mark. It has captured attention, sparked debates, and reminded everyone how quickly things can spiral in the digital age. And as we wait for the next development, one question still remains. Is Cardi B really being exposed? Or is this just another example of how quickly the internet can turn speculation into reality? So, what do you think is really going on here? Is this all just internet rumors blown out of control? Or did Offset actually reveal something serious that Cardi B doesn't want out? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'm reading everything, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on this story, because trust me, this drama is far from over. We'll be covering every twist, every update, and every shocking reveal as it happens. Follow us for more viral celebrity news, trending drama, and real breakdowns. Hashtag CARDIB, hashtag Offset, hashtag celebrity drama, hashtag breaking news, hashtag viral news, hashtag Hollywood drama, hashtag DNA test, hashtag trending now, hashtag exposed, hashtag music industry, at CARDIB, at Offset, at Hollywood Unlocked, at The Shade Room.